Lane Ranch and Company does about 125 events a year for Wells Fargo. So this is where the coaches start from and the horses. And we're going to go in and see preparation for the Rose Bowl parade. This is the day after Christmas. About 10 a.m. out here at George Lane Ranch. Lane Ranches in Lancaster. And this is the start of the famous Rose Bowl parade and the stagecoaches that roll in. And we're going to see where they came from, and we're going to watch and see how the whole process goes together. This is one of the famous stagecoaches that George has, and he's going to go through the whole process in a few minutes. Tell us all about it. Well, George, it's hard to believe it's 2017.
Oh gosh dang. Those years come by super fast.
Super fast now, huh?
But anyway, it's we've been doing the Rose Parade for about, this will be about the 12th year straight right there.
Oh boy.
And in the 1980s we did it for 4 years. We pulled a large float with Belgian draft horses.
Uh-huh.
And then for a few years Wells Fargo didn't participate. Then about 12 years ago they started again.
Uh-huh.
And so it's been an experience right there. So
I'll bet.
we've got to know the procedures down fairly well.
Uh-huh. So does Lane Ranches own the coaches?
The coaches and the rolling equipment, the trucks and trailer, those belong to Wells Fargo.
Uh-huh. I see. But you provide the horses.
They provide the horses, and they've got a very active program. They've been originally they were pretty much just California. This buzzer here.
Oh.
Now they've expanded, and they're pretty much over most of the United States with a coaching operation.
Uh-huh.
So
I see.
So we'll just
and the pyro guy. Now that's fireworks. Is that?
Yes. Yeah. And we're gonna
a little celebration
at the end of the parade. Wells Fargo will have 3 coaches, 2 towards the first portion of the parade.
Uh-huh.
Probably the first third. And the one will be next to last, and I'll be driving the one that's next to last.
Uh-huh.
And part of the closing ceremonies, they'll have the pyrotechnics. So that's what we're rehearsing. So
Oh, I got it.
we just want to
See,
do as much as we can to be prepared right there.
doesn't hurt, does it?
So it's a nice cool morning, and
Yeah.
we're going to go ahead and have the pyrotechnics in about the next 10 or 15 minutes. The horses will be tied up to the hitching rail, the fence. Then after that, we'll hitch them to the coach, and we'll do another test.
Uh-huh. Okay. And these are the horses that they're going to hook up to the Wells Fargo stagecoaches. And what they're doing is, these horses are not studio trained horses. So what they're going to do is test. They're going to set off some fireworks and see how the horses react. The pyro guy is out there in the field, and the fire marshal and George Lane are over here. And so what's going to happen is they're going to shoot the pyro, and then they're going to see how the horses react.
Everybody ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Okay.
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
That horse didn't do too good, George.
George, do you use the same horses every year?
We do not. Yeah, it'll vary a little bit. The one horse on the left lead, that's a new horse. She replaced the horse. Has been a tremendous horse, but it's an old horse. She was in her mid 20s. Excellent horse, but she's semi-retired. But we use basically the same horses, but we'll change depending.
Change them out.
Yeah, what we think, how heavy the load's going to be, and usually the coach is pretty easy to pull. It's not much of a pull, but we do change a little bit.
So you put on bridles with blinders, huh?
Yeah.
For the crowd?
Yeah, they just
Protects them?
routine, keeps them focused, going, pay attention to what's in front of them. And stuff, just kind of tradition too.
Well, I've been on the sidelines and for several years with the kids camping down there, and the horses always seem to behave.
Did you drop one of your roosters off?
No, I just.
Then I hear his cock doodle doo in the morning, and it wasn't from the neighbors.
Hey.
And actually, the coaches were being used. There was up to 20 people.
Oh, really?
That wouldn't be very comfortable.
In that size, huh?
Oh, well, probably people were a little smaller too.
Could be.
But it was, they would have a lot of people, sitting on top.
Oh, yeah.
John, when we start, you're welcome to just be inside, and we'll.
Oh, okay, I will. Sure. Thank you. Good. So this just folded up.
Fold it up, make it easier for passengers to get inside.
And
And then first class was riding facing forward toward the horses, and economy was
over there.
back. So
And George said 20 people would load onto one of these.
Yeah, when it was this was the modern Concord way of travel back in its day. This was the way to travel. Was by
You bet,
Concord
you
Stagecoach.
bet, you bet. Well, it's not a bad ride for the short distance, but for hundreds of miles packed with people, it probably would be pretty close quarters. George is warming them up here a little bit. We're going to go around and he's going to shoot off some fireworks to see how scared they get. And these are the trucks that are going to take the horses and the wagons down to the Rose Bowl. Can you drive these, Charlene, in this age of the glass ceiling?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I drive.
You have to go through a test and accreditation. She's one of the, I think one of the, just 2 or 3 good ladies in the United States.
Is that, now who gives that license? Who gives that test? Department of Agriculture or?
Oh, you know, it's through Wells Fargo.
Oh, through Wells Fargo, I see. For insurance purposes, probably. Yeah. Huh.
They have a pretty active stagecoach program. There's about 15 drivers throughout the United States.
I see. Sure. They have coaches all over, I guess, huh? Run them in different parades.
All over the United States.
Oh, that's wow. Huh.
They had 22 coaches out on the 4th of July. Wells Fargo did this last year.
Really? Huh? Well, we'll have to get you in the Acton Navadosi parade some 4th of July.
That'd be good.
Yeah, we'd love to. What do we have to do? Just request it?
You usually go through a local
Wells Fargo?
Wells Fargo representative,
Uh-huh.
one of the bankers,
And just request it.
and they start the process.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we're one of the few communities here in the valley that has a 4th of July parade anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sheriff comes, he walks, and all the politicians, they ride, you know.
People put their chairs out early.
Oh, 3 or 4 days, yeah.
We do, like I say, there's a lot of events, and we don't do do that many here in Lancaster or the Antelope Valley.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Take him out, turn around, and go back. Okay. Fight.
You guys walking the parade?
Yeah, we walking next to the
On either
one
side?
guy is in the lead.
Uh-huh, just in case the horse gets
Yeah,
spooked. Or...
sometimes you never know what happens. So the drivers are there. The time you get over here, the horse is already
Gone.
It happens so quickly.
Uh-huh, I see. So just for safety,
Yeah, we
you...
just walk right between the leaders and the winners. Just kind of.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes the leaders more because the lead is more important because the leaders just can go either way, go to the right, to the left, just like that.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Sometimes if we got our rider and our rider is not much good because the time to get out of his horse, the other ones is already
Gone. Uh-huh. So they all put their ears up when the fireworks went off, but that's not bad, huh?
No, it's okay. ¿Van a hacer más o no?
The right spot you're doing it, that's the right when you turn it.
And he said that's what he's going to set off. So, single simultaneous bang.
Yeah, that wasn't.
I was expecting, 4th of July. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, he said they're indoor fireworks, and so they're not that loud.
Actually, a bit less stimulating than the convention.
See, I see. And do you find that they kind of get used to it after they start, and then
They
all
do.
those 2 million people there? And
The more these horses are exposed to, the more they get used to it, and the more they get to a point where stuff really doesn't faze them anymore.
uh-huh. Have you ever had any unexpected events with the horses?
With this group, we really haven't. This is a pretty well, they're pretty well used to, the sort of thing that we're exposed to at a parade, and so we really haven't had any issues. We're just trying to make sure that continues to be that way.
Yeah. Ounce of prevention.
That's right.
That's right. Well, thanks very much for your time. And how about you? You go along and assist.
Yep, I'm just support staff.
Uh-huh.
So keep track of all the horses, and I know all their names and how they handle things, and it kind of helps to have an idea of which horses can be a little more problematic than others.
Oh yeah, sure.
The hardest part is when they're standing still. Once they're walking down the parade route, they tend to handle things a lot better, but when we're asking them to stand at the very beginning of the parade, that's really hard for horses to stand still when they have that much excitement going on.
Kind of like kids, you know.
So that's the hardest part, is just the first few minutes.
I see. Well, thanks very much for your comments. Now, George, you're going to take everything down today?
We'll take it down Saturday. And,
okay, you take the horses and
we take
coaches and everything.
We'll take,
you leave here on Saturday?
We'll leave on Saturday, and we'll go to. We usually go to the Fargo Bank Equestrian Center. We're going to a little different location, but we take 15 horses down Saturday, and we have a chance to ride them and exercise them a little bit. Sunday, it's usually a little warmer down in that. Down the valley, so Sunday we'll start washing horses. Take the coaches to the location where we're gonna hitch up right there. Then they're decorated, beforehand. Then the coaches are put in place about 2 in the afternoon, and that's
lined up. You mean?
Well, on a side street. Sunday afternoon they're in place about 2. Then the final decoration is done when they're in place. Then Sunday night we get up about midnight. We'll stay down there. We get up about midnight. Then we start loading up horses, and we go to what they call the pit area. Then we get everything, unload horses, we harness horses.
So you're going from the Burbank Equestrian Center down to Pasadena?
We usually do, but we're going. They've had this year. We're going to Hanson Dam Equestrian Center. The Burbank Equestrian Center. They've had some problems where some of the barns are isolated because there's been some equine viruses.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So we're going to a different location, and we leave about midnight. The Hanson Dam Equestrian Center. Then we take all the horses, the trucks, and the coaches to the what they call the pit area, and like I say, at about 5:30 or 6 in the morning, we lead the horses up to where the coaches are. Then we have time to hitch them up, and they want us there plenty of time. Then when our number gets close, we start moving up the street. We finally get in.
I see. These are beautiful coaches. The leather work is in shape, and all the paint is good. And, it's really, the wheels and everything are in good shape. They're really well maintained, and George is telling me they have several of these all over the country that Wells Fargo runs in parades. And
see if we can put 6 horses in here, but in the front, we've got.
Put the trailer in the front, or the coach in the front.
Yeah, coach in the front, and we have our harness on the passenger side.
Oh man, look at that.
It's going to start by itself.
Our tongues and our lead bars. And for the
Is this all your stuff, George? All this
harnesses, yeah. And for the saddles, for the outrighting horses, we have room for 2 saddles and a little area in the front clothes closet where we keep our clothes and all the brush boxes and everything that goes with it.
I see.
This trailer's fairly new, so we're still getting it situated and still doing work with it. But we've got it pretty much where we want it, but it'll still the next couple of months.
Do you keep the trailer all year?
Yeah, we do.
Just ready for the Rose Parade and a few other things.
We do about 125 events a year.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, so they're going out constantly.
I see.
But,
part of their regular promotion budget.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're last weekend before last, we did three events in that weekend, so they keep pretty busy.
Sure. Well, then you drive in all of them, pretty much?
No. I mean, they're not all with horses. Some of them are displays, just have the coach only, but there's different people that drive on the ranch. And you said you've been doing it since the 80s. We started in Wells Fargo in 1989. So we've seen it grow. Originally, it was pretty much California based, and then it grew to be Western United States. Now it's pretty much all the United States.
Well, it's distinctive. Nobody else has got it. I mean, the bank really profits, I'm sure, from.
No, definitely. They've got.
Yeah, it's
a lot of people know it, and it's always very well received.
For sure. Well, and then after the parade's over, you just load them back up here, load the horses up.
It's kind of you're so busy and it's kind of anticlimactic. You all of a sudden the parade's over. You're at the end of the parade route and you load everything up, and we usually stop and we have one restaurant we can get the trucks in. We usually stop and have lunch, and that's it. And it's usually and it's over. And
so you're back here the same day.
Back here the same day, and January is usually fairly slow, but there's usually some events. But but the Rose Parade's the large one.
Sure. Well, best of luck with it this year, and thanks for the opportunity to see.
Well, thank you.
The behind the scenes. Sometime later, maybe we can get and see from the overnight stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, that
would be interesting.
Yeah, I never seen that before. So
that would be interesting.
Put us down for that if you think about it. If they allow it,
No, they would probably. We'd have to start.
Yeah,
a few weeks
let them know ahead of time.
Probably about 6 weeks in advance.
Sure.
But it's a little process right there.
Well, if you think about it, I'd like to do it.
The first few years when we had done it, everything is new, and since it's a repeat now, it's much easier than what it originally was.
Well, keep up the good work.
Thank you.